Ever been told that procrastination is your worst enemy? What if we told you it might be one of your brain's cleverest strategies? Today, we're tearing down the misconceptions and unveiling the science-backed benefits of procrastination. Discover the brain's battle between the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex, and learn how this bad habit can lead to heightened creativity, reduced stress, and even increased focus. Interested? Keep watching and we'll explain it all. But before we jump in, please note that everything mentioned in this video is unbiased, fact-checked, and reviewed by qualified health professionals. The neuroscience of procrastination. Let's start by asking one simple question. Why does avoiding our responsibilities seem highly attractive and so gratifying? Well, when we look at neuroscience, procrastination goes beyond just lazy habits. In reality, procrastination is like a battle of two cortexes. Every time our minds entertain the idea of entering the procrastination mode, a conflict arises between our limbic system and prefrontal cortex. The limbic system is a complex network of structures in the brain, which is responsible for maintaining our everyday emotions, moods, and motivation. It's also the key region of the brain where dopamine, the pleasure neurotransmitter, is produced and released. As for the prefrontal cortex, this frontmost part of the brain cortex manages our personalities, decision-making, and complex behaviors. According to neuroscience, the limbic system is much more dominant and developed than the prefrontal cortex, which is why it's so easy for us to go into procrastination mode without much hesitation. To put it simply, we reward our brain with instant gratification in the form of a break rather than the true reward of completing a task. So, what some call pure laziness or inertia is actually neurobiology at its core. Now that we understand the brain science behind it, let's delve into the psychological allure of procrastination. The allure of procrastination. Finding the allure of procrastination certainly doesn't take much effort, because according to psychology professor Dr. Tim Feichel, quote, procrastination is an emotion-regulating problem, not a time management problem, end quote. And when we think about it, that statement makes sense. Try to look back at all the major times you have procrastinated in the past. Was it due to not having enough time or motivation? Or was it simply too emotionally demanding to complete that specific task? When we ask the question of why we procrastinate, the answer can be explained by the allure of avoiding responsibility, anxiety, or stress related to the task. Instead, our brains opt for a stress-free option in the form of procrastination, leading to the feeling of instant reward and gratification. While many have argued that this cycle is not beneficial for our daily activity or overall performance, we are here to challenge that perspective. Here are the secret benefits of procrastination. Increased focus. The first lie about procrastination we've heard before is that this habit decreases our dedication and focus. In reality, putting off tasks until the last minute prompts our brain to maintain laser-sharp focus and attention. When we acknowledge that there are no more ways to escape tackling a task, it instills a sense of pressure within our brains, pushing us to take necessary action. This habit also removes unnecessary distractions that may have gotten in the way of our work. That is why, even with a 3-week deadline, we still choose to complete a task on the very last day, or even the last hour. Heightened creativity. Another surprising benefit of procrastination is exposing hidden creativity. As shared by the organizational psychologist Adam Grant, moderate amounts of procrastination is actually effective for enhancing creativity by giving our brains more time to think and enter a zone of original thoughts and innovations. According to Grant, quote, "But while procrastination is a vice for productivity, I've learned, against my natural inclinations, that it's a virtue for creativity," end quote. Reduced stress. Next, let's talk about how procrastination and stress may go hand in hand. As we've explored previously, we oftentimes postpone our responsibilities because of the emotional stress that may accompany them. But paradoxically enough, avoiding our tasks for a later time may actually reduce our stress and anxiety. When we procrastinate, we allow ourselves to mull over the problem and mentally prepare ourselves to tackle the task at hand. With our minds ready to confront the projects, our bodies can begin to take action. Lowered expectation. Did you know that lowered expectations is another surprising benefit of the act of procrastination? This next benefit may prove especially effective for all of our type A and perfectionist viewers out there. Creating a flawless masterpiece requires immense dedication, time, and motivation. Sometimes our brains simply aren't equipped with enough energy to craft that impeccable piece of art. So instead, by embracing procrastination, we provide our brains with greater degrees of freedom and creativity. By lowering our expectations, we may find the task more enjoyable and fulfilling to complete. And lastly, we would like to end our video with a message from Professor Frank Partnoy, who provides motivational insights and practical tips on tackling everyday tasks and integrating the optimal levels of procrastination into our daily lives. Dr. Partnoy shares, quote, "Just take a breath, take more pauses, stare off into the distance. Ask yourself the first question of this two-step process. What is the maximum amount of time I have available to respond? When I get emails now, instead of responding right away, I ask myself this. It might seem rude, and it did feel rude at first, but the reality is if you respond to every email instantaneously, you are going to make your life much more difficult. I free up time today that I can spend on something else, and I'll be unconsciously working on the question asked in the email for a week." End quote. How to leverage procrastination. We've talked about the benefits of procrastination. But how do we tap into these benefits without falling into the trap of laziness and missed deadlines? We can actually leverage procrastination with these practical strategies. Consider structured procrastination. A term coined by philosopher John Perry, this approach involves tackling smaller tasks while delaying larger, more intimidating tasks. This way, you can still make progress while biding your time to tackle the big stuff. Time blocking is another effective method. This involves scheduling specific times for relaxation and procrastination. Instead of feeling guilty for wasting time, you actually give yourself permission to rest, making your work periods more focused and efficient. So instead of beating ourselves up for procrastinating, we can accept and strategically use it to our advantage. Impacts of chronic procrastination. Now, while there are ways to leverage procrastination, let's not dismiss the potential negative effects of chronic procrastination. It can increase stress levels, decrease overall productivity, and even negatively impact mental health, causing symptoms of anxiety and depression. Chronic procrastination may also lead to poor performance in work or school, missed opportunities, and can even strain relationships due to consistent delays or cancellations. It's therefore important to distinguish between productive procrastination and harmful avoidance that can have lasting consequences. Ways to overcome procrastination. So how can we manage our procrastination tendencies and turn them into productive habits? It's not just about trying harder or making better to-do lists. One increasingly popular and evidence-backed method is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT is a type of therapy that can help us understand our thought patterns, particularly those that lead to chronic procrastination. CBT helps us learn to stop automatic negative thought cycles that can lead to anxiety and procrastination, and replace them with more positive, productive thinking patterns. Working with a therapist or using online CBT resources can provide a structure for overcoming procrastination, teaching us techniques to combat avoidance behaviors and make our procrastination more productive. So the next time you catch yourself avoiding a task, take a moment to observe your thoughts and emotions. Are you feeling overwhelmed or anxious? If so, consider some of the CBT techniques for managing these feelings and refocusing your attention. And, of course, try to incorporate our tips on leveraging procrastination. Remember, it's not about eliminating procrastination completely, but using it to your advantage and ensuring it doesn't take over. And there you have it, everyone. We've embarked on a journey through the intriguing world of procrastination, unveiling its neuroscience, understanding its allure, recognizing its benefits, leveraging it strategically, acknowledging the impacts of chronic procrastination, and exploring innovative ways to overcome it, including cognitive behavioral therapy. We've debunked common myths and shed light on the positives, while also acknowledging the potential pitfalls of chronic procrastination. Our goal isn't to eliminate procrastination completely, but to better understand it and utilize it effectively. After all, the key lies in balance, and in turning our natural tendencies into productivity boosters. So, what's your favorite way to procrastinate? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks everyone for watching. If you learned something new today, consider subscribing and comment down below what you want us to explore next.